Hey everyone, and welcome back to Whizbit's Random Gaming. Now, before we get into today's video, I'd just like to thank everyone, all the new subscribers, all the old subscribers, for all the comments and everything else that they've been giving us recently. The channel's going from strength to strength. It's really, really encouraging, and I can only thank you guys so much. We have recently become a YouTube member. So if you'd like to support the channel, please feel free. There's a link in the video description below where you can support from as little as 99 pence per month. Now, we've also got a Facebook group going on, which is slowly growing. It's a great place to be to talk about gaming, all that kind of stuff. So if you want to check that out and you are a member of the world of Facebook, also there will be a link to the group below. I hope to see you guys over there. And yeah, please step up, join us, and have a great time. Let's go on with today's video. Hey everyone, and welcome back to this week's Game Hunt on Whizbit's Random Gaming. Now, if you watched last week's video, you'll be fully aware that I attended the Camden Video Game Fair. So whilst in the area, it'd be rude not to check out the local CEX and see what they've got on offer. Now, if you happen to like this kind of content, please take the time to consider subscribing to the channel. And if I see you out and about, I'll buy you an out-of-date Easter egg. Now, every time I come down to this particular branch in Camden, it's notorious for having stuff in the window that's just been absolutely destroyed by the sun. And whilst that isn't the case today, if they keep these games in the window for much longer, I purely envision that happening again. It's the location, and it's a real sunny day, and when you're going to get that, which obviously isn't that often in London, games are going to get sun faded. So checking out the retro section here, it's quite obscurely placed these days in the Camden branch. It's just around the corner from the counter. So if you do visit this branch and you just look at the stuff that's in and around the entrance of the shop, make sure you check out around the back, just to the side of the counter, where they keep the more retro based stuff. Now, there's a decent variety of stuff here today, nothing that will blow your socks off or anything like that. And I had a little bit of money left, if I'm honest, because I didn't pick a great deal up from the video game fair on the day. So yeah, in the market to pick something up today, nothing extravagant, but yeah, I wouldn't mind picking up a game or two if there's something that catches my eye today. Now, I'm always in a market to pick up some games on the OG Xbox. It's a console that I didn't experience too much of in its prime when it came out, but nothing really here today. The Metal Slug game, I did consider that, but I've got the collection at home, and it'd probably just be a bit of a waste of space, to be honest with you, adding another Metal Slug game when I've got alternative ways of playing them physically. Now, those Saturn games, they're really good condition, if I'm honest with you, and just, yeah, casually tucked away there. Castlevania on the Mega Drive. You would have thought that would be one of the games that you would be displaying and trying to show your customers instead of just putting it in a corner like that, but no, doesn't seem to be the case here. Now, one of the things I'm always going to say about this branch, it's been the case for the last couple of years as I've been visiting more frequently, is that this area of games, your Wii, your Wii U, PS2, it's an absolute mess. It never seems tidy there. But you know what? I don't let that put me off too much, because you never know. Just because it looks messy, there might be some gems. Now, there's one that I need for the full set on the Wii U, The Legend of K. And I would have picked this up today, but as you can see there, top left-hand corner, cover reprinted. Super Mario 3D Sunfade Edition there. Yeah, as I've said, sunfade is a real problem in this shop. I don't know if I'm the only one that's noticed it, but that was probably in the shop window at some point, and now it's just a sunfaded mess. Now, checking out the 360 section over here, I was tempted to pick up Bully. I've only got it currently on the PS2. The first time I played through that game was on the 360 and probably was my preferred version. Don't own it currently, and yet it's something I need to add back into the collection at some point. Shout out to the Retro Chef, that Gundam game there. He was telling me that might be worth a pickup. I'm still not convinced, so I'm not sure on that one. I'll put it to the maybe pile today. Now, do you know how long it took me to play Red Dead Redemption? I think I had that game in my collection for at least 2 to 3 years before I actually placed it in the system. What a fool I was. What a great game, and I should have been playing it a lot sooner. Now, checking out the Xbox One and the Series X selection, we've got Bendy and the Ink Machine there. A game I got really close to the end of, and for some reason I must have got bored with it. I need to revisit that one. It was good throughout the playthrough that I had, but something must have put me off because I was deep into that game at one point and just never returned. Now, a lot of people I know collecting those Lego sleeves at the moment, more so on the PlayStation 4, but to be honest with you, one of the good things about game in general, and there's not many of them in 2025, is that those games are really quite readily available. And obviously brand new as well. Now, as I said to you earlier, the PlayStation 2 section, always a mess. But I'm going to have a flick through here. There is a couple of subsets on the PlayStation that I'm collecting for. So yeah, hopefully I'll find one of those games today. Nice cheap purchase, which will make the visit feel at least worthwhile. So browsing through here, there's nothing really that I want. There's a few games that I need that don't really want to pay out for today. But then I stumbled across this, Camden CEX. Now I'm currently going for the full Jak and Daxter set on the PlayStation 2, and I vaguely remember this, but when I decided to go for the subset, I forgot all about it, and at £5 I think I'm going to pick this one up today. Now, as I said, it's a very messy PlayStation 2 section. There's not a lot of love that's paid here to the stock in terms of shelving. Now, I don't know, was it a Sunday and people couldn't be bothered? But I see it all the time, to be honest with you, in this particular shop. Now, Lethal Skies 2, I love the title of this game. I love shooting games, but then unfortunately I turn it over to the other side and it seems to be more of a flight simulator. Not my cup of tea and not as lethal as I anticipated. I think I'll put this one back. Not going to be picking this one up today. Now, one of the good things about the PlayStation 5, and yeah, in my opinion, there's not a great deal I love about it, is that you can still play the majority of PlayStation 4 games on it. So that's one reason why I'm still looking out for PlayStation 4 titles where possible, because I want to get some value out of the PlayStation 5. Now, here's one that I've seen only on a few occasions. Not too sure if it's my cup of tea, to be honest with you. So yeah, not going to pick this one up today. I do love the cover artwork though, but I don't know. Let me know in the comments if this game is worth a pickup. Now there's a game I've still not played, Doom Eternal. I love Doom. I was a real latecomer to the Doom series. Didn't really play it back in the day because the console versions were absolutely naff, if we're totally honest. Well, the Super Nintendo one was anyway, and that's what I had access to. Didn't have a computer that could power it back in the day. So yeah, I'm still getting used to the whole Doom world. I enjoyed the remake that they brought out, or the more modernized version. I thought it was a fantastic game, and Eternal's been on my list for a while. Not too sure about the Dark Ages one though. I've recently been reading that in order just to play the game, you've got to download like an 80 gig update straight away as soon as you put the disc into the system. And that's not a game on a disc, is it? That's literally a key. But yeah, a decent PlayStation 4 section. We've got the Marvel versus Capcom series there, or sorry, the Marvel Fighting Collection. Not really played a great deal of that. I was highly anticipating the release, and I got it, played it for a few hours, and it's unfortunately just sort of gone back on the shelf. I think that's more to do with the fact that I've just got so many games that I haven't played, and they're still in line, rather than revisiting games that I've played many times before. Now, I was always going to buy the collection because it's a great series of games, but yeah, just sitting there doing nothing right now. Now, over on the Switch, here's one that I would like to add to this system. It's Dead Cells, the Castlevania edition. But at £30, to be honest with you, I'll probably go down the route of the PlayStation 5 version at some point for that. It's currently on sale for $14.99, I believe, in Argos, and I can live with that. And I don't mind it because I enjoy adding PlayStation 5 games to the collection, as it's been a slow start to my collection, shall we say. Now, pretty standard fare in all honesty for the Switch. Nothing amazing and nothing that's really standing out here. But unfortunately, that's kind of the situation with the majority of the games on display here in the Camden branch. It's a real generic type branch, and I'm kind of coming to the conclusion now that these city-based or London city-based CEX branches are not really the place where people trade in obscure sort of games. It's more so where people are local, maybe working, and just come on their lunch, trading their games and whatnot. I don't know. It's a theory I have, probably one that's far from the truth. But what's your thoughts on that one? The more city-based stuff, so like the Tottenham Court Road, your Camden Town, those sort of shops, CEX-based, they don't tend to have that many rare sort of obscure items. It's very generic. That's just going from my experience. Now, there's one I wouldn't mind, that Jurassic Park collection, but it is significantly cheaper elsewhere, so I'm not going to be picking that one up today. Right, so let's have a look at what we picked up today, and unfortunately it was just the one game, and that is Jak X, as I showed you earlier. I'm going for the full subset of Jak and Daxter games, and like I said, when I saw this one, I vaguely had a memory of it, but it is one that I haven't played, and yeah, if I'm going to be going for the entire subset, this one had to be picked up. Now, the Jak and Daxter games are criminally underpriced, if you ask me. I'm not sure about this one, because it looks to be quite a slightly different twist on the genre, the franchise, but yeah, gotta buy it, and I'll check it out at some point. Right, so anyway guys, that was Camden CEX 2025. Quite uninspiring, if I'm totally honest with you. The retro that they had, some of it was decent, but strangely tucked away in a corner that's a little bit more obscure and harder for your casual shopper to find. I don't quite understand it, to be quite honest with you. It never used to be like that. Why they've made that change, who knows. But it wasn't a terrible day out. I did go down to the fair earlier, so this visit today was more so just let's visit on the way home as it's close by. Anyway guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next video. Take care for now.